The Houston Rockets have made some big time splashes in this year's offseason. Now, I know I just made a video about them, but since I made that video, they signed Dillon Brooks, they signed Jock Landale, and they signed Jeff Green. So we got to talk about all that in today's video, as well as in bringing in Thompson, Cam Whitmore, Fred VanVleet. What are their roles on the team going to look like? What is Kevin Porter Jr.'s role on this team next year going to look like? As well as Alperen Sengun, Jalen Green, why I think they're going to have big years next year. So make sure you stick around for the full video. Also, make sure to hit the like button if you do enjoy today's video at any point, and leave me a comment if I get something wrong, or if you just, go Rockets, woo. But also, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you do enjoy today's video. If you want to see NBA offseason content or just NBA content in general, this is the place to be. About 97% of my audience is not subscribed, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Now let's go ahead and get started with the Fred VanVleet news. 3 years, $130 million. I've seen some people calling this the worst contract in basketball. They got to chill out, okay? It's not the worst. He's a guy that can get you 20 a game almost, 7.2 assists, 4.3 rebounds. I don't think he was the starter on that Toronto team that won a championship. I could be wrong. Maybe in the finals he was, but I know leading up to the finals he was not the starter. But does have lots of playoff experience, a guy that has won a championship before as a backup, 39% from the field, 34% from three last year. So yes, he is making more per year than his field goal percentage last year, which is interesting. But yeah. And then Dillon Brooks, 4 years, $80 million deal. Houston spent some money. Now, with the new CBA rules, you have to spend up to 90% of your cap space. So that is why you see them going out and making all these moves. Dillon Brooks, elite perimeter defender, a guy that just will lock up on the perimeter. You got to control the shot selection, though. Get that, get that handled, and then once you get that out of the way, don't have him taking too many crazy shots, and don't have him mouthing off to LeBron, and you should be all right. They also bring in Jeff Green, a veteran, and then Jock Landale on a 4-year, $32 million deal from the Phoenix Suns. They almost had Brook Lopez, but apparently he backed out at the last second to return to Milwaukee. And, this is not an updated cap sheet because I can't find one, but you look at this, what is important here, you could go ahead and trade Kevin Porter Jr. if you need, but Sengun, Jalen Green, those are the only two guys you'll have to extend before the VanVleet contract is up. So you still have Jabari Smith Jr., Tari Eason, guys like that, the two rookies you just drafted. You still got all those guys under team control until after that contract is up, which is why I don't think it is that bad of a contract. And then you throw in the fact that you drafted Thompson, which makes people, kind of question why they bring in Fred VanVleet. But at 6'7", he's an elite playmaker. He is going to need some time to acclimate to the NBA, though. Elite defender for sure, but I don't think he's a day one starter. Coming from that overtime elite league to the NBA, that is a little bit of a jump there for Thompson. So that's why I think he is going to start out on the bench, maybe the first couple of years, but he's going to be a great facilitator. I mean, Houston Rockets fans have this to look forward to in the future. You got Thompson swinging the rock to the 5 of these guys: Jabari Smith Jr., Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Cam Whitmore, Alperen Sengun, even Fred VanVleet, Dillon Brooks, Jock Landale. I mean, the future is bright here in Houston. Another move that I really loved this offseason by the Rockets was Cam Whitmore, an absolute steal with the 20th overall pick in the draft. I mean, a guy that I had in my top 5. He's a super athletic 6'7" wing that can really score the ball. I mean, he's a tough shot maker at Villanova. We saw that with some of the threes he would hit. Now, of course, that is a bit of a double-edged sword. Tough shot maker also leads to bad forces. But if they get that shot selection a little bit under control between him and Dillon Brooks, they should be all right. And I think he's going to be coming off the bench. Now, the Kevin Porter Jr. role. Could KPJ be the odd man out here? That is the big question a lot of Rockets fans are asking here lately, and I don't think so. I think you keep KPJ around. You've got him locked up on a reasonable contract for the next few years, 19.2 points a game, 5.7 assists, 5.3 rebounds. He's a guy that I think you're going to want to have on your team. Now, the KPJ point guard experiment didn't really work out, but he's a 24-year-old, averaging almost 20 points a game, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, while shooting at 44% from the field, 37% from 3, and 1.4 steals. I'll take that every single day of the week. Now, the 1.4 turnovers, yes, but, what are they going to do? Trade him? I think they'd like him as the sixth man, the small forward off the bench. I think that's how that's going to end up working out. Y'all let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, though. Now, we have seen the blueprint in action for this Rockets team. Head coach Ime Udoka. Well, he's had a really, really good wing duo before, and they went to the NBA Finals. Of course, I think by this point, if you watch the NBA, you know who these two guys are. So, with that being said, he's got some young wings on this team that he can try and develop as well. We talked about Whitmore. We've also talked about Dillon Brooks earlier in the video. Both wings that can play defense and can score a little bit. Dillon Brooks not really the best scorer in the world. Tari Eason's a guy that I expect to be developed very nicely. 9.3 points, 6 rebounds, 1.1 assists for him last year as a rookie. And those might not exactly jump off the page at you, but he's a guy that only played in about 18 minutes a game, I believe. 18 to 20 minutes a game. Shot at 45% from the field, 34% from three. So Tari Eason's a guy that I expect to have a bigger role this year. Well, actually, he plays 22 minutes a game, but he's going into his 22-year-old season. So I think that he's going to have a big-time year. And then Jabari Smith Jr., former number one player on my board, averaged about 13 points, a little over 7 rebounds a game this year. But that was somewhat disappointing for me. Again, I had him as my number one player, and he did not play like the number one player in the draft class. 41% from the field, 31% from three, almost a block a game. So not kind of pedestrian numbers for the number 3 overall pick. However, I'm not saying skill-wise, but frame-wise, Tatum, KD-like at 6'11". So I feel like Jabari could have a place as an upper-tier talent on this Rockets team for Ime to develop. Now, baby Jokic, Alperen Sengun, 15 a game, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. He was very good last year for the Houston Rockets and very underrated in my opinion. He's a guy that I feel like will get more attention this year. 1 steal, 1 block, 29 minutes a game for him. So I think that he continues to develop. He continues to play better and better. I think he's going to keep getting that attention. 55% from the field, 34% from three on 1 attempt a game. So if the three-point shot keeps developing as well, baby Jokic. Jokic light at 21 years old. Pretty good numbers from the, third-year big man from Turkey, right? Am I remembering that correctly? But another guy I think is going to have a breakout year. And you might be like, what? He kind of already broke out. He's kind of already averaging 22, 4, and 4. But sure, he put up good numbers. However, the efficiency was subpar at best. 42% from the field, 34% from three, and 34 minutes a game for Jalen Green. So I'm expecting him to not have a breakout year in terms of scoring numbers, but a breakout year in terms of, hey, let me, get my efficiency up a little bit, not have the bad efficiency, but still have even bigger numbers than next year. So I expect him to have, 45 to 6% from the field, 37, 38% from three. That would be a good year for Jalen Green. Now the lineup for next season. Fred VanVleet at the starting point guard spot. Yes, you're going to have to start Fred VanVleet over Amen Thompson. Jalen Green at the 2, Dillon Brooks at the 3, Jabari Smith Jr. at the 4, Alperen Sengun at the 5. One of the big things that the Rockets needed to do this offseason was go out and get a veteran presence for that starting lineup, and they definitely did that. If they could have gone out and gotten Brook Lopez, I don't know if he would have started at the center spot or came off the bench. Either way, more veteran presence. I feel like between VanVleet and Dillon Brooks, two guys that have been on teams, I think they were both on a 2 seed at one point in their career. So teams that have won games, teams that have been, very successful. So that's good veteran leadership to bring to the team. And then Jalen Green, I'm expecting him to have a big year next year. Same thing with Jabari. Same thing with Alperen Sengun. So I expect VanVleet to play more of a facilitative role next year, if that's a word. Now looking at the bench as well, Amen Thompson and Whitmore at the backup guard spots. 2 young wings that I feel like can really do something next year. Or if not next year, maybe the year after that. If not that year, maybe the year after that. They're 2 guys that I think you grow and develop for a good while. Then you got Kevin Porter Jr., who is at that backup small forward spot. I've got him coming off the bench. First man off the bench. I think that'd be a great role for him. Followed by Tari Eason, who can really play defense, can knock down the 3 ball. And then Jock Landale at the backup 5, which is a sneaky good signing as a veteran because he is, a crafty big man. And then you also got the former NBA champion, the reigning NBA champion, Jeff Green, coming over from the Denver Nuggets. So that's why I think this Houston Rockets team has won the offseason. Y'all let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure to the like button and hit the subscribe button if you did enjoy today's video at any point. And yeah, with all that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.